In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at GitHub Pages and how you can use it to deploy a website. Now, if you're not aware of what GitHub is, don't worry. It is a platform used by developers around the world to store, share, and collaborate on software development projects. A developer will upload their code into something called a repository or repo. Every time they make a change, they can track what they're doing. Now, usually I would use TinyHost. It's the easy way to share files and applications, but I was really interested to see what GitHub can do. Let's dive in to GitHub Pages and see how easy it is to deploy a website. Now, the first thing you need to do is set up a GitHub account. I'm not going to document those steps. It's super simple, username, password, that sort of thing. You got this. Then we can just navigate to pages.github.com and then you can create your first repository. You don't have to do this every time, but this is just an easy way to get to the create repository link. So we're going to click on that. And this is creating your first repository. Now, it's really, really important here that when you create your repository name, so this is going to be how you're accessing this repository. For GitHub Pages, it needs to be your GitHub username, which in this case for me is SeekTom, and then github.io. Anything else, and then this won't work. It's a little bit janky. And you can certainly trip yourself up like I did when I was testing this earlier. If you get this wrong, it won't work. You can then obviously add in a description, and so this is going to be a test website for GitHub Pages. You want to make sure it's set to public. You don't need to worry about a README file. A README file is really important when you're building proper applications. It helps show people how to use the code in that repository, that sort of thing, steps to install. We don't need to worry about that. We're just doing a basic website. And then you can add some other things that we don't need to worry about right now, including a license. And this is particularly on how you'd like people to use your code. Sometimes you can have it so people cannot redistribute your code, or you can have it under say a GNU general public license, which means people are free to use it for non-commercial reasons. So done that, we create the repository. And then once we've created our repository, we then need to upload some files to it. Now, I've already created a website using ChatGPT, so I just need to quickly grab this file and then we commit it to the repo. But before we do that, we need to make sure that we add a meaningful commit change. Now, a quick sidebar about committing to a repository. When you do that, you need to include a message and a description. And it's really important that you include meaningful information in there because it will save you time when you are going through your application, when you're debugging, and when you're working with other developers. Understanding what you or they have done to the application will just save you so much time. And so it's good practice, even at this early stage, to include a meaningful message when you're doing that. And so for this case, I'm just going to say this is the initial commit. And then when you're doing that, you want to say what files you are committing. And in this case, it's just the raw website that we're doing, main index file for the website. Cool. And then we commit those changes and this uploads it to GitHub, as you can see. Now, one thing to note is that if we go to seektom.github.io, it won't be visible right now. So if I actually just copy this, if I copy this and we go there, it says 404 not found, and that's expected because GitHub takes some time to upload this file and then provision it across their servers. And so it will take about sort of 5 to 10 seconds for this file to deploy. And then eventually it does show up. And so it does take a little bit of time and there are a few steps, but it does work. And if you do have a simple website, it is certainly one way of doing it. The question is there a faster way of doing it? How much quicker would it be to do the exact same website via TinyHost? Let's find out. So I'm already logged into my TinyHost account. I'm going to click upload file. I'm going to grab the exact same index file. And obviously there's a bunch of features that we can enable, such as hiding this file from search engines or enabling feedback mode. I don't need to worry about that for now. I'm going to click publish. And what that's doing is deploying this to TinyHost servers, making it available. It's giving us a domain that we can click, but also we can make sure that we can set our own domain if we want as well. We can share this link via QR codes, copy links, embed it, etc., etc. Super, super simple. And the site is immediately available, which I think we can all agree is a lot faster. So GitHub Pages, you can use it to deploy a website, but I think we can all agree that TinyHost is definitely a lot quicker. And with that, we're at the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.